What up, though, man? It's your boy B Hat, for some of y'all know. B Hat the best on Facebook. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Whoever don't know, I don't really post a lot of videos and nothing like that. So a lot of people don't know. I'm really a lame on social media. You know. But this video I like to call Praise Jesus for Yeezus. Now, as far as Kanye West's music, I ain't really fucked with Kanye West's music since the Graduation album like that. He ain't really made a lot of hot music to me. That's just me. But his views and his points and his point views of everything that he has said about slaves choosing to be in bondage for 400 years, he's telling the truth. Man is telling the truth. Go do y'all research. Do y'all history. Half of y'all who running y'all mouths talking about he sound like a fool, he sound like an idiot. I bet you y'all never seen or watched one episode of Alex Haley's Roots. Ever read Alex Haley or even read Alex Haley's books? And I'm not just saying Alex Haley is just the main one. It's a lot of people. Some of y'all probably never read the autobiography of Frederick Douglass, the autobiography of Harriet Tubman, the autobiography of Nat Turner. I can tell some of y'all never read. Some of y'all probably never even heard of Nat Turner. Probably some of y'all have never heard of Nat Turner until they came out with that Nat Turner movie that didn't do good at the box office, but was a good movie, a great movie, because y'all was so brainwashed. But Yeezus is telling the truth. Y'all need to go do y'all research. I'ma bring this up. Roots. What was it? Volume 10, I believe it was. I believe it was Roots, probably volume 10. It was like towards the end where Roots was coming to an end. And Roots was coming to an end because slavery was ending. And it was a part where slavery was ending. It was Chicken George and Chicken George's grandson and their whole family. And Abraham Lincoln had just abolished slavery. And when they abolished slavery, the slaves had a big meeting in the barn on the plantation. So all these slaves are in the barn and they're trying to decide what are they going to do since slavery is over with. What are they going to, where are they going to go, where they're going to live, how are they going to be able to feed themselves, everything. So another slave, he comes in the barnyard and he's got like a sack. He's got like a sack with him, and this sack full of his shit. And he basically going back to the barn to get I guess he had a wife, going back to the barn to get his wife and everything. So when he see all the slaves just sitting around, he looking at them like, what y'all doing? Didn't y'all hear? Slavery, it's over with. Why are y'all still here? Come on, let's go. The other slaves, we're having a meeting to decide what we gonna do. And the other slave looking like, what we gonna do? They just told us what to do. Get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, well, no, how are we gonna survive, and what are we going to be able to do? And the slave had brought up a good point. He was like, what do you mean? One thing about this slavery shit, they showed us how to build. They showed us how to grow. We helped make this land. So we can go somewhere else and do the same thing for our own land. The other slaves, but what about massa? Dude, he basically like, what you mean, what about massa? Fuck massa. Let's go. Slaves didn't want to leave. After that, the massa comes in the barn. Even the massa says to them, what are y'all still doing here? They say, massa, we can't leave you. What's we gonna do? Massa, what's we gonna do? How we gonna survive, massa? The master even said to them, what do you mean how y'all gonna survive? For hundreds of years, y'all learned how to plot land, grow, build. What do y'all mean? Go do the same thing. Just do it without worrying, have to be whipped because you might have made a mistake somewhere, or your wife and your kid being separated because we might have to pay because a lot of times when slaves got separated or traded, a lot of times slaves got traded to other plantations because a lot of times the plantation owners might have owed a debt to another plantation owner. And in a way to pay out the debt, instead of paying cash, they could pay by trading off a slave. And that's how they work things out. And the slave master is telling them, like, look, take some of the tools that we gave you and go do your own thing. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to leave the massa when they had the choice and the option to leave the massa, most definitely, after slavery was abolished. And this clearly shows you exactly what Kanye West was talking about. They were given a choice. Even after slavery ended, the slaves didn't even want to stop being slaves. They still wanted to be slaves. So that clearly can show you, and Alex Haley ain't lying. He's not fabricating the story. This is true. This is real. Hollywood didn't fabricate the story, didn't add no extra like how they do nowadays when it comes to true stories and they add stuff, fabricate was supposed to be a true story. This was not fabricated. This is 100% real. 100% real. Okay, and what Kanye West said is 100% right. That's just like the one dude who he was arguing with at TMZ talking about, oh, my family is this, my grandmother was this generation of a slave, and, I feel appalled and shocked and sad that you would say this. How do you feel appalled and shocked and sad by saying that we couldn't step up and be our own leaders? That we couldn't step up and hold down our own and build our own land, build our own nation? We can, because for one, we got the numbers. We was always told for hundreds of years that we are the minority. How are we the minority? We not the minority, man. We ain't the minority. We ain't been the minority. It's been more of us in this country for over 500-600 years than it has any other race. It is more than us than anything. Okay? Why do y'all think they're killing us off the way they're trying to kill us off? They are publicly executing us. Why do you think they're doing that? Because they know that it's more than us. They just don't want us to get wind of that in our mentality. They just don't want us to lock that into our mental, that it is more than us than it is them. Because they know one thing about us. If we lock something into our mental, we'll start acting on it or acting upon it. And they know if we really get that mental sense that it's more of us than them and that really we're powerful than them, they're afraid that we could take over. And they don't want that. So people, please stop talking about Kanye West is crazy. I mean, he crazy. His rant, the way he delivered his message was crazy. But his message was real. And his message was right. Kanye West, start making better music, but keep talking that real shit, bruh. For real. And I'm out.